Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Minky Finger Cat, and I'm just going to share with you a bit of stash and what I was doing at the weekend. So I went to a workshop with Marlene from Art by Marlene. Just bear with me, I don't know if it says her actual name on here. So I think it is Marlene Mecher van Nierkerk or something along those lines. That's my terrible Dutch accent, so I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry, Marlene, if I'm saying your name wrong. But anyway, her brand is Art by Marlene, which you can see there on that bit. So I did a workshop with her on Sunday. She was actually teaching all weekend, but I could only attend the Sunday. And it was hosted by Art Workshops, which is run by Sue Tucker, and it was the first time I've attended any of their workshops. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well organised. Was made to feel incredibly welcome, even though I was there on my own. I didn't have anybody I already pre-knew before the event, so that was really nice. So I felt very much at home from the minute I got there, welcomed into the family, so to speak, and would definitely recommend doing a course with them in the future. Marlene herself, really talented artist, and I really liked her work, which is why I'd ended up booking on the course in the first place, because I'd seen her work in a few different places and I thought I really liked it. It's really bright and different and cheerful looking, so I thought, no, really fancy doing that. So I thought I'd talk through what I did and some of the stash that I got given as part of the kit and some of the freebies that we got given, as well as, yeah, there might have been a little bit of spending going on as well. Hey ho. So first things first is this really cute card that was my place name for at the table, and this is one of Marlene's stamps, but a really funky background. I really like that stenciling that's in the background. Assume it's stenciling on the beautiful. Pretty sure that's a painted piece of paper. It might actually be a piece of the collage paper, I'm not sure, but yeah, so that was really cute to get that card, and I love that fox, really sweet. And these are the projects that we made. So it was making 4 tags, so mine's 3 and 1 yet to be complete, because I just ran out of steam at the end of it. So let's start with the first one. Marlene designed these, what they're called Chubby Chicks stamps, and they're for the larger lady, the ladies that have got real curves, shall we say. But yeah, really cute stamps. So this one was all about watercolouring, doing an ombre background, and also about using your coloured pencils with your watercolours for the colouring and remembering the shading. So I had a few technical issues with this one, as in my bikini top sort of bled into the colours and the colours sort of her skin, and yeah, she looks very suntanned. It might not come across so much on the camera, but in real life she looks very suntanned. But that's fine, that's okay. She also designed some really funky graphic type images as well. So it was using, this one in particular was using the sentiment. It looks like I've just written that, but actually it's a stamp. So that's the first one. This is the second one, and this is probably my favourite of the tags that I did, I think. I'm not sure. So some stencil in the background, using a stencil that she designed for, I think it's Crafters Workshop, I could be wrong. Again, another of her Chubby Chicks girls, and this time again watercolouring, using coloured pencils to do further definition, and this time basing her onto a carpet of washi tapes that again are part of her signature collection. This day was particularly about how to use some of her supplies and getting to use some of them. So nearly everything we used was stuff that she designed. In fact, the watercolour palette that I was using was one of her watercolour palettes as well. The sentiment is from a sticker book, which I then did buy, so you'll see that in a minute. Now this one was using a modelling paste, but it was like a really light and fluffy one. It's a lot more flexible than my modelling paste that I have. And I think it's by Crafters Workshop, but I could be wrong who it's by. But it's like a really light and fluffy one. It reminds me of the Faber-Castell whipped spackle. So yeah, really nice one that we put on, kept it sort of quite textural, didn't smooth it out or anything, then let it dry, and then we applied the watercolour in the background. And then these are all her die cuts that I'll show you in a minute from the book that where I've got loads of them left. So they're all her die cuts, and then again you added your own elements to it, whether that be the white pen, some more colouring, so defined edges a little bit more and stuff with my pencils. So that was that one. Really love that background, so gorgeous, and those girls are so cute and so ethereal. And then this one I've not quite finished, so I've still got to do some shading and definition and perhaps add a quote. I could possibly add a quote to this one, but I actually think I quite like it without. But yeah, so this one I've not quite finished. And again, this is using her die cuts, and this time it was using acrylic paint in the background, adding texture with a bit of drywall tape, and then these funky gold stars. I love those. Got loads and loads of spatters and speckles and bits and pieces going on here. And I love this bevy of different faces. So I'm not quite sure what I'll go for the sentiment in the end, but yeah, that was my final one. But I ran out of steam, and I still had a long journey home to get through, so I decided to just leave that for the time being. So in terms of the kit, we were given a full pack of her tags, and I believe there's 10 in the kit in total, so we got 2 of each colourway. So the only one that I've not used is a black tag so far. They're quite an interesting dimension, these. In fact, I don't know what they are, so let's have a look. So it's about 8.5 by 5, just over 5 inches. So it's quite an interesting dimension because it's a bit different from the Ranger ones. So if I think of the Ranger, the really large tags, they're longer than this. So these are actually a little bit shorter and stumpier, a little bit like the Chubby Chicks are, really. So it's quite a nice dimension, a bit different. This one's got black speckles on all over because obviously when I splattered I didn't cover everything up, so yeah, everything's in a bit of a mess. But they're not a watercolour card, they're just a plain cardstock, but they did take watercolour quite well. So this was the white one, and it took it quite well. There's definitely not any pilling, but you just needed to be careful not to overwork it. So yeah, so I've still got 6 tags left. We got all of the ribbons, etc. I'm not entirely sure if there is another one I've got left, but I don't know where I've put it. So there was another ribbon that I got as well. We also got another one of her images that she'd stamped out in case we had time to do a 5th tag. So this is, to me, really reminiscent of the weekend because I went to see Bohemian Rhapsody with my friend. So this just makes me go, fat bottom girls, they make the rockin' world go round. And that was my terrible singing, apologies. But yes, that's exactly what this one makes me think of. So yeah, so we've got another image there. So at some point I'll probably colour her in and fussy cut her, and maybe she'll go on another one of the tags because they do fit. Even with the bike, that fits perfectly on these tags. So that it's like, you never know, she might have actually designed them to go together, obviously. So I've got a bit of drywall tape left. So this is the die cut booklet that, as you can see, is absolutely ram-packed full of images. So I've used some on those tags, but nowhere near even half of them. So there's 20 sheets in total. It's 2 of each kind, and there's things like random stuff like the eyes as well as the main feature image. I mean, these are just, look at that bunny rabbit, isn't he? The most hilarious thing ever. And fabulous big eyes, which are just blown up versions of the ones on the little owl. And you get 2 of each one. So there's some more of the Chubby Chicks. And this time you've got mermaid tails as well that you can also create. So you could actually create her with that head and that body. That would work quite nicely. But she's got no arms, so you'd have to draw those in. Love the little space girl. This is what the sort of class that she taught the previous day, which I wasn't able to go to, called Funky Faces, where everybody made their own funky face canvas. And there were these sorts of things that she was showing them how to do. And some people made some amazing stuff. Again, just random things like these stars are fabulous and probably could used on lots of different cards as well as mixed media products. There's a few little sentiments in here as well. And they're all with a white border around them. So you can see, hopefully you can see that there's a white border around them. But then you can just fussy cut them so that you can have them with the white border or without. So clearly this is a page I used quite a few of the pieces for the Under the Sea type one. And I love this girl, really love her, she's fab. But I love the fact that we've got extra eyes, nose, mouths, little elements that are there. I love the little fairy with the apron tabard on, which is really cute. Just like a dinner lady at school, but a flying one. So cool. Love all the stars. I love the fact that they're different stars as well. So you've got 5-pointed and 6-pointed stars as well, and they're very much hand-drawn organic type ones. Again, there's more sentiments inspired today, those sorts of things. Love these bows, they're quite funky. So that came with the kit, and clearly there's loads in there that I can still make. So not only can I do the same tags again, I could do more as well. And then there's freebies. So these were handed out the previous day, but because I was still there for the second day, I also got this. And again, it's 2 sheets of, and these are the collage papers. Oh, look at that. I mean, yeah, that's perfect. I mean, she's a Dutch artist. Of course, we've got to have tulips. It's just the rule, isn't it? Some fabulous black and white ones, so you can do your own colouring on them. Really bold flowers, and you can see it's sort of watercolour in the background. That's one of her favourite mediums. Again, another watercolour, perfect as an Under the Sea type thing. Another black and white one, super colourful. And if you just took just small elements of this, you've just got those flower bits, or you just took the star bits, you know, there's this bit with the graphic with the chevrons or the herringbone, that's what I was thinking of. Very beautiful florals, and you could literally cut around one element, or you could take it as a piece of paper in one thing at a time. I mean, that's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So really generous gift. If I'm honest, I probably would never have bought this, not because I didn't like it, but just because I've got so much pattern paper and I tend to make my own. But now I've got it, I can see I could use this in loads of different ways. So that was the gift. And then I went in the shop and I bought some stuff. So if you see any prices on this, these aren't the prices I paid because there was a sale on with it being Black Friday weekend. So I bought Marlene's stamps that, rather than buying any of her girls that I can't imagine using as often, plus I knew I'd got this entire stack of die cuts to get through, I really fancied these little beach houses. I thought they were very cute, but also they don't have to be beach houses. So I could mask off the stilts elements to them, and they could just be little houses. So this one, perfect. You could just mask it off. I'll just take a bit of thing there. And that's just a house. It doesn't have to be a beach house. So I thought that they were really funky stamps. Really like those. And actually, you know what? At £9.96, if that had been if that's the full price, that's a really good price. As I say, we were very generously discounted, because we were at a workshop, but also because it was Black Friday. And as I said, I also bought the sticker book. So there's alphabets in here, but there's also loads of quotes, both big quotes and then some of the little quotes as well. And more alphas. And some big quotes and big bold images. And also just a couple of images. I love that. Love that. And you can colour them into your heart's content. If you change nothing, nothing will change. Like that. And I came across Art by Marlene through the Badass Art Chicks stamp club. So I've used quite a few of her stamps where she's designed them for the Badass Art Chicks. So some of her style is something I already knew a lot about, which is partly how I come across her and why I wanted to go on this course. I think that's all I bought that were directly related to Marlene. But I bought 2 stencils by All and Create. This one somebody else pointed out a sample that had been made, and it was absolutely fabulous. And it was texture paste that had gone through it, and then they coloured in between for the colours of the rainbow, and then they'd stickled or glitter glued in between each thing, and it was just stunning. I was like, I've got to get that. It took us a little while to find it in the shop, but we got it. And then I thought this was a really funky one, and I thought, well, that's something that could always come in useful. I thought it was a nice graphic shape, but also I quite like circle things. Sticking to the All and Create, again there was a sale on All and Create stuff. Really like the stamp. I just love it. Tell your truth, find your voice, sing your song. My music will tell you more about me than I ever will. Musical notes, lyrics, play the moment. I love this cassette. Find your own song. I just thought this was a beautiful stamp. And I thought, I'd looked at a smaller version of it that had also got some other things on it, but I really liked the size of this. I thought this was a really good size. So that got bought. I spotted these and thought, oh, they're quite funky, and at £3.99, again we were slightly discounted even off that. I thought they're quite interesting. So they're collage words, so it's printed tissue paper that's got all these words on them. I'm trying to get them all out and I'm struggling. Sort of wanting to stick to the back. There we go. So they're Dina Wakley. Apologies, I wobbled the camera. But what a fab idea. And then these, oh, there's some white ones in there as well. And then these can just go onto your artwork, and when you collage them on with your matte medium, for example, you'll only see the words, you won't see the back tissue paper. But I just thought, so it looks like it's got all of them but in black and then in white. I just thought these were really interesting and a really good idea, and a good addition to my arsenal of bits and bobs of sentiments, especially for art journal pages. But also there's a couple in there that would be suitable for cards. So yeah, so I like those. What's that? And then the final bits were some mediums. So I adore the Art Alchemist Sparks paint. And I've got quite a few colours, but I hadn't got these two, and I've been wanting the Raven Black for ages, and just never got around to ordering it, because every time I thought about ordering it, I thought, no. Anyway, it was buy one and get one with 40% off, so, well, of course I had to. So I also bought the Unicorn's Hair, which is like a gold coloured one. Now, admittedly, I already have an acrylic ink. Oh no, it is a different colour. I was thinking it might be similar to this champagne, but it's actually, no, it's more goldy than that. But I knew I've not got much of the acrylic ink left, so I thought I would get this colour as well. So there's those two. I also bought some more of the baked texture, and this one is Deep Sea. So I don't know why I just decided to take the price off this one. I'm not taking the price off anything else. Just look at that. Isn't that fab? So this is a translucent one from the Seth Apter range, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. I saw a really good video on YouTube by Scrap Cozy, and she's done a test of all of the baked textures. Really interesting ways that she's done it. She's done it on its first bake, its second bake, raw, with UT, on black cardstock, on white cardstock, stamping an image. So she's done a really good sort of tester of it, so I recommend you go and look at Scrap Cozy for a really good idea of how to use the baked texture powders. But I just fancied this one. I just thought, oh, it just looks so cool. It looks like salt. It's got some quite large chunks in there, and then it's got this blue, which is like a dark blue, but it's apparently translucent, so it's not an opaque one. Really like that. And then finally, 2 Posca pens, 1 gold with a pin nib, and 1 silver with a bullet nib. again, just to add to what I've got available. So this is they're both the metallic ones, and it's just to add to my pen collection, Poscas. And I knew that my goldy coloured Sharpie was running out, so I thought, oh, I'll get that, and I haven't got a silver Sharpie left anymore, so I thought, oh, I'll get the Posca one and see what that's like. So that's my stash. So I was saying that's my stash, but I did also meet up with my friend Darcy, and she very kindly gifted me one of her stamp sets. Isn't it the cutest thing ever? So Darcy designs for Paper Artsy, Eclectica range. She's done, well, at least 23 stamp sets now. She's possibly done 26, I think, but I could be wrong. And I've got quite a few of hers, but I hadn't got any of the more recent ones just because I'd not been able to buy them. I'd not had the money available when they came out, and then one thing after another, I'd not managed to get them. And she happened to have a spare one for me, which was really sweet. I have to say that as much as I adored making the art, meeting all the nice people on Sunday, my weekend was made special by meeting up with Darcy. I'd not seen her for a couple of years. And she's such a lovely, lovely person. I love her to bits, as I do with all of my Raggy dolls, because she's one of my Raggy doll friends. So people may have seen me doing artwork for Raggy dolls. If you go on my blog, you'll see that there's Raggy doll circle journals and stuff. Yeah, I adore Darcy, just like I adore all my other Raggy dolls. And it was so wonderful to see her, and we just didn't shut up all night. Well, we did. We went to watch Bohemian Rhapsody, which is amazing. Can't recommend it enough. Stunning film. So we did shut up whilst the film was on. But other than that, we didn't shut up all night. It was great. Loved it. Can't wait to see her again. So I'm already like, when am I going to see her again? When am I going to get to the northeast and see her again? But I just thought I'd share with you this fabulous. I mean, I can just imagine using some of these words so much. I love this funky tree. And look at that cute little hugs one. So cute. And then this with a signature. This is very much a Darcy heart. So she's got quite a few stamps that have got this sort of style of heart that I absolutely love. Bubbles, great for in the background, but actually, you know what? So many things I could use these for. I just love them. Love them, love them. And all those words, just fabulous. And obviously, it's Paper Arts. It's a good quality rubber stamps. So anyway, that's me done. So I hope you enjoyed that little whistle-stop tour of what went on for my weekend. And some of my stash that I bought, some bits and pieces that I did. I was meant to be holding a craft class tonight, but my back is really not good. I've been to see the osteopath, who's like been involved with our family for a number of years, and we sort of named him God because of the fact that he's a miracle worker, but currently feeling a little bit bruised, I have to admit. As he said at one point, are you enjoying this pain I'm inflicting on you? No, not really. No, not really, but I know I have to get through this. So yeah, so I'm currently not feeling 100%. I think that a whole day of crafting probably has been the catalyst for the, okay, enough is enough, I need to get on with it. But it's, I diagnosed it already as laptop hunch, and the osteopath agrees. So it's going to be a bit of a rest night for me, not really doing any creating. So as much as I'm sort of going, oh, I really want to make with my new stuff, and I really want to finish my tag off, and maybe colouring that fat bottom girl on the cycle or something, but it's not going to happen, is it? Ah well, right, I will get this post uploaded to YouTube, go and rest the back, have some more ibuprofen, maybe a glass of gin. Well, I think I might deserve a glass of gin, I don't know. It is a school night, probably shouldn't. And I will be back soon. I have some stuff planned for December, so there are going to be more videos coming. If I can get round to recording them, which means I need to get my back better. So please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this rambling video. Most of my videos are not rambling because most of them I don't talk on. And they're in fast forward, but never mind. Tonight you had to put up with rambles. Please subscribe if you want to see more less rambly videos, and until next time, goodbye.